Okay, class, this is another quick video in the series of sort of how to do things in class. And this one's going to be how to do a document of the week when it's from a news source that you choose. Okay, so remember I told you the stream is where the lectures are happening, where the information's being given. And then I'll mention in the stream, hey, there's a new assignment today, and it's going to be X, Y, or Z. Well, one of these days it's going to be a news document of the week. So when you have that, and we're just going to say, let's see, that looks a little different than I thought it would, but that's okay. So you go to your classwork, and it'll say document of the week. I'm just calling it number 5. It's due August 21st because that's tomorrow, but obviously this is going to be much later. You'll have a full week to do it, but you'll click on this document of the week. Very similar to how we have a document of the week when I give you the actual document, except you're going to choose it. So it says right here, document of the week number 5. This is the document of the week based on a news story you choose. Now, I'm going to go into more of the rules on this at another time, but it has to be a news story. That's very important. It can't be sports and it can't be entertainment, and it's got to be from a reputable news source. That means ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox News, CNN, any of the basic news programs, any of the basic newspapers. You can use the Sandusky Register, Lorraine Journal, Cleveland Plain Dealer, Washington Post, whatever you want to use. The key is it can't be Twitter, Facebook, or something that's hearsay. It's got to be a real reputable news source. And some of you will argue that maybe CNN or Fox or MSNBC aren't reputable. They have political bias for sure. There's no doubt about that. But there is a certain legitimacy to all of those news agencies. And I'll give you an example. On Twitter, I've seen where Eddie Murphy has died. And if I see Eddie Murphy has died on Twitter, the first thing I do is I go to one of those sources I just listed to you and say, okay, let's see, did it make the headlines? And if it doesn't, then I pretty much know, oh, it's a Twitter thing. It's not a news thing. It's not a real thing. You know, if I see something on Facebook, what you're going to see is that a legend like Eddie Murphy, that's going to make CNN, ABC, Fox, that they report real news. They just have a bias sometimes in how they present the news. But if any of those places says there's an earthquake in Chile, then there was an earthquake in Chile. For whatever reason, people do love to make up things on some of these less reputable sources like Twitter or even Instagram or Facebook. So what you're going to do for a news story, document of the week, is you're going to create again, and you're going to create a document. And in this case, you don't have a document to read to do that, but that's okay. You're going to go through whatever news source you enjoy, and you're going to find a news story that you want to write about. Now, it starts off the same. In the upper right-hand corner, again, if it ends up being left, I can live with it. You're going to write Johnny Student or whatever your name is. And again, I'm going to make a typo because that's just what I do. Okay. But here's where it's a little bit different. Under the source, you've been writing down whatever the document was I gave you. I mean, the very first one was like, a fake document or whatever, and then probably the Jane Addams letter, and then whatever it is, a Declaration of Independence, Constitution, whatever the document is, this is what you listed here. But in this case, that's not what your source is. And really, all of you were doing basically the same source before, but when you have a news one, hopefully I have a whole bunch of different sources. And so I'm going to show you how to do your source for this. In this particular case, I'm going to go to ABC News. Now, in my world, it's August 19th, but you could be watching this who knows when. And so this is ABC on August 19th. Now, if I were you, I would pick the most interesting thing to you because it's going to make it easier for you to write about it. I'm going to stay away from some of these because by the time you're seeing this, it's all old news anyway. So I'm going to pick something that was, sort of a weird story, but, it's certainly timeless. It could have happened yesterday or August 19th. And that is a Missouri doctor loses license for amputating toe on his porch. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't read this story yet. Can't wait to read that. But what I did there was I highlighted the source and then I copied it. And all I'm going to do for my source is put a hyperlink. That's all I have to do. That's it. That's my source. Because whoops, I don't know if you can hear that, but apparently I get to watch a video about what happened with this man's toe amputation. Okay. Boy, it really wants to show me that. So, that is your source right there. Now, I'm a nerd, so I see a lot of news. I read a lot of news. So there's a pretty good chance whatever story you picked, I've heard about. If I haven't, though, I'm going to click on that as I'm grading your thing and go, oh, okay, this is interesting. And I'm going to have some idea of whether or not you summarized it well, or whether or not you've, done a good summary, or whether or not you try to plagiarize their very own words. So if you don't have a source, at the very least, there's a couple point penalty. But if I get the sense after reading your summary that you're trying to pull one over on me, we'll go 0 credit because you're trying to cheat the system here. But again, as long as you pick a news story that's of interest to you, this should be easy to write about. That's it. That's how you do your source. I'm going to do another video to actually talk about how to write your document of the week. But that's how you list your source. You just create that hyperlink. So again, we just go to that site. You just click on that, right click and put copy. And then after you do that copy, you can just paste it right there. And there's your source. And then you just write your document of the week. That's a whole different video, but it's just that easy. Okay? So again, make sure it is a news source, but it really is just that simple. Okay. If there's any questions, you can ask me during one of our live sessions, or if you didn't quite get it, just watch the video again. I'll never know. All right, guys. Thank you.